You can feel it, can't you? That strange pressure in the air, that tension between what's collapsing and what's calling. The harder you try to hold things together, the faster they seem to fall apart. Nothing feels stable anymore. But that's not failure. That's divine architecture at work. Because before union, everything that's not built on truth must burn. When twin flames reach the edge of reunion, the universe doesn't reward comfort. It demands surrender. It begins to tear down every illusion, every false foundation, every identity you've built around control. It's not cruelty, it's calibration. You asked for divine love. Now the divine is clearing everything that can't contain it. What looks like loss is actually precision. What feels like chaos is sacred surgery on the soul. The divine feminine feels it first. She's been through cycles of hope and silence, light and dark, connection and distance. And now, something deeper is happening. Her spirit no longer wants comfort. It wants truth. She feels her old patterns unraveling, her coping mechanisms dissolving, her energy shifting from chasing to embodying. The heartbreak, the exhaustion, the emptiness, none of it is punishment. It's rebirth. Her old frequency is dying so her divine one can rise. The divine masculine, meanwhile, is being cornered by his own resistance. The walls he built for protection are now collapsing from within. The distractions don't work. The logic doesn't soothe. The silence no longer gives peace. His tower is shaking, not because he's done something wrong, but because his soul can't evolve inside an old version of himself. This collapse is his initiation. The energy that once terrified him is now his teacher. And in losing control, he finds clarity. Everything falling apart right now is not ending, it's alignment. You're not being punished, you're being purified. You're not losing your path, you're being redirected to the vibration that matches your soul's original blueprint. The pain, the confusion, the isolation, it's all divine strategy. Because only when there's nothing left to cling to can you finally reach for what's real. Before twin flames can stand side by side, they must be stripped of everything that isn't love. This is the phase where the masks fall, the identities dissolve, and the false timelines collapse. You can't step into divine union while holding onto versions of yourself that were built from fear. That's why the universe shakes the ground beneath your feet, so you remember that your foundation was never external. It was always you. And so, when everything starts breaking, the feminine learns to sit in stillness while the masculine learns to rise in truth. Their souls begin to synchronize again, not through effort, but through surrender. The feminine learns that silence isn't rejection, it's transformation. The masculine learns that pain isn't weakness, it's awakening. Together, their energy begins to clear the interference that kept them apart. The collapse becomes communion. You may be standing in the ruins of what you once prayed for, wondering why the universe would bring you this far, only to take everything away. But what if nothing was taken, only revealed? What if the storm isn't destroying you, but returning you to what's indestructible? What if the breakdown was always the bridge to the breakthrough? Before union, the universe strips away every illusion of control so that when love finally arrives, it lands on solid ground. No more chasing, no more running, no more pretending you don't know who you are. The divine can only fill empty hands, and right now, your hands are being emptied for a reason. This collapse is not the end, it's the initiation. This fire is not your punishment, it's your purification. And when the dust settles, you won't be the same person waiting for love. You'll be the version of yourself capable of becoming it. Because before the universe gives you everything, it teaches you to hold nothing. And that's where real union begins. Why the universe strips you bare. Every twin flame reaches a moment when life stops making sense. When the plans collapse, the certainties fade, and the world that once felt solid begins to dissolve. That's not coincidence. That's divine precision. Because before you can enter divine union, everything false must be stripped away. The universe cannot build truth on top of illusion. It must first clear the foundation, even if it feels like destruction. This is what many call the sacred collapse, the storm that comes before alignment. It's the point where your ego screams for control, but your soul whispers, "Let go." And letting go feels impossible because it's not just about losing people or situations. It's about losing identities. The person you were in survival cannot follow you into divine love. The self that operated through fear, attachment, or proving worth has to die for your real essence to breathe again. For the divine feminine, the sacred collapse feels like emotional exposure. She's been the nurturer, the believer, the one holding the vision when everything else fell apart. But now, the universe turns the mirror toward her and asks, "Can you still love when there is no reward?" It's the phase where her old role dissolves. The fixer, the healer, the chaser. She begins to realize that love doesn't need performance, it needs presence. The tears that fall now are not pain, they're release. Each one cleanses another layer of attachment. Her heart is being rewired to love from truth, not from fear of losing. For the divine masculine, this collapse is internal war. He's spent years mastering control, building stability, chasing logic. But the portal to union doesn't open through achievement. It opens through surrender. The life he built from the mind starts to feel hollow because his soul is calling him home. Relationships end, distractions lose color, and silence becomes his new teacher. He's being stripped of everything that numbed him so he can finally feel. And though he resists at first, he's learning that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's alignment. Both polarities are being refined by divine fire. Everything that's burning right now, the friendships fading, the jobs shifting, the distance between you, is purification. The universe isn't cruel. It's exact. It knows which structures can hold the frequency of union and which ones must fall. So it dismantles what you outgrew, no matter how tightly you hold on. This is not collapse for collapse's sake. It's a recalibration of destiny. You might feel empty right now, like you've lost the ground beneath your feet. But what if this emptiness is sacred space? What if this void is where creation begins? Because only when the old dissolves does the soul remember its original vibration. Pure, unconditional, limitless. This is why everything falls apart, not to punish you, but to return you to wholeness. When you lose what you thought you needed, you finally remember what you already are. The feminine learns that love doesn't depend on being chosen. It exists because she is love. The masculine learns that strength doesn't come from control. It comes from truth. And together, through their mirrored chaos, they rebuild not a relationship, but a reality. A life aligned with the vibration of their highest selves. The sacred collapse is a divine engineering process. It looks chaotic from below, but from above, it's pure order. Every delay, every silence, every ending was designed to free you from what could never sustain divine love. You're not losing the connection, you're losing the interference. The separation wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to break the illusion of separation itself. So if everything feels like it's falling apart, let it. Let the tower crumble. Let the pieces scatter. Because what remains will be real. You cannot lose what was written in light. You can only lose what was built in fear. This is how the universe teaches readiness, not through comfort, but through clearing, not through answers, but through emptiness. And in that space, your higher self begins to rise, steady, luminous, unshakable. That's when union becomes inevitable, because nothing false remains to block it. The collapse is not the end of your story. It's the part where you stop surviving and start remembering. The moment where the ruins of the old life become the soil for something eternal. The sacred collapse is how the universe rebuilds you into truth. And truth, no matter how long it hides, always finds its way home. For the divine feminine, the collapse doesn't come as thunder. It arrives as silence, not the kind of silence that comforts, but the one that strips, the kind that takes away every distraction until all that's left is the sound of her own soul speaking truths she tried to avoid. This is her breaking point, not because she's weak, but because she's finally being asked to stop carrying what was never hers to hold. For lifetimes, she believed her role was to heal everyone else, to wait, to fix, to understand. But the energy of this stage demands something higher: self-sovereignty. The feminine is being asked to stop identifying with pain and start embodying power, not force, but divine authority. That shift feels like death because, in many ways, it is. It's the death of the version of her that confused suffering with love, chasing with devotion, waiting with faith. The universe is pulling her out of that vibration now, and she can feel it in her bones. At first, the feminine resists. She wants to understand why things fell apart after she gave so much, why her prayers seem unanswered. But this phase is not about answers. It's about transformation. The love she gave wasn't wasted. It was alchemy. It purified her frequency, even if it shattered her heart in the process. Now, what's rising from the ashes of that heartbreak is not the same woman who once begged for love. It's the embodiment of love itself. She begins to notice the subtle shift. The ache in her chest turns into warmth. The longing becomes stillness. The tears no longer come from despair, but from recognition. She's remembering who she was before she believed she had to earn love. This is the emotional rebirth of the feminine, the moment she realizes that her power was never in pursuit, but in presence. The body responds first. A weight lifts, even if nothing external changes. Her breathing deepens. Her nervous system starts to regulate after months of chaos, because her energy, once spread thin, trying to keep the connection alive, is finally returning home to her. And that return ignites something magnetic, an aura so stable that it no longer pulls from lack, but radiates from wholeness. In this rebirth, she no longer craves validation. She doesn't need the masculine to mirror her worth because she finally sees it in her own reflection. That doesn't mean she's cold or detached. It means she's free. She can love deeply without losing herself in the process. She can care without collapsing. She can feel without drowning. That balance is her initiation into divine maturity. The feminine is learning the sacred art of surrender, not giving up, but letting go of control. She stops trying to predict how union will happen and instead aligns with the vibration that ensures it will. Her heart becomes a temple, her stillness a signal, her peace the invitation for divine timing to move. And as she releases expectation, she starts to feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. Trust. Trust in herself. Trust in the path. Trust in the love that never really left, only changed form. Meanwhile, her transformation begins to affect the masculine on an energetic level. He feels her calm like a frequency he can't explain. It's no longer longing that reaches him, it's light. Her detachment isn't absence, it's magnetism. And that magnetism begins to pull him toward healing because she's no longer vibrating in fear. Her rebirth becomes his awakening. This breaking point was never meant to destroy the feminine. It was meant to return her to the throne she forgot she had. She's no longer the wounded chaser, the anxious empath, the one waiting for permission to rise. She is the rise, and through that rise, the entire connection shifts frequency. Because when the feminine stands in her truth, the masculine is forced to meet her there. So if you're feeling everything right now, the grief, the peace, the confusion, the clarity, know this. You're not breaking, you're being reborn. The pain is not punishment, it's labor. And what's being born through you is not just love, it's destiny. Your higher self has taken command, and from this point on, everything that matches your new vibration will begin to appear effortlessly, divinely, inevitably. This is what happens before union. The feminine rises from her own ashes, and in that rise, she becomes the fire that lights the path home. Every divine masculine eventually reaches a moment when the world he built begins to shake, not slightly, but completely. The walls he trusted start to crack. The foundations he once thought were unbreakable begin to crumble under the weight of truth. This is the tower moment, the divine earthquake that dismantles everything false so that his authentic self can finally emerge. For the masculine, awakening doesn't come softly. It comes through pressure. It comes through loss, endings, and the unbearable silence of the feminine's withdrawal. The very comfort he once clung to becomes suffocating. The distractions stop working. The work, the noise, the avoidance, none of it satisfies him anymore. Because this time, The universe isn't asking for action, it's demanding honesty. And the truth is simple: he's been running from himself. The masculine has been taught all his life that emotion is weakness, that vulnerability is danger. So he built walls, thick, logical, efficient walls. They protected him from pain, but they also kept out love. Now, the divine frequency of this collapse is shaking those walls from the inside. He's being cornered by his own soul, forced to face the feelings he buried. He feels her energy, the feminine's peace, and it destabilizes him. Not because it hurts, but because it reminds him of what's real. For the first time, he realizes that silence isn't power, it's avoidance. At first, he fights the process. He doubles down on logic, throws himself into distractions, tries to fix everything externally, but the more he resists, the heavier it gets. Until finally, exhaustion takes over. Not physical, but spiritual exhaustion. He drops the mask. He sits in the rubble. And for the first time in years, he stops running. That's when the awakening begins. In stillness, in surrender, in the quiet aftermath of collapse. In that silence, memories return. Moments with the feminine that used to feel confusing now carry meaning. Every look, every word, every separation begins to make sense. He realizes that she wasn't the enemy. She was the mirror. The intensity that once scared him was simply his own heart reflected back at full volume. And he couldn't handle that volume before, not because he didn't care, but because he wasn't yet ready to feel. The tower moment humbles him. It dismantles pride, ego, and illusion, not to shame him, but to reveal his truth. He starts to see how much of his life was built around survival, not purpose. How many decisions were made out of fear, not alignment. And that realization, though painful, is liberation. The fall of the tower is the rise of the soul. As the masculine begins to awaken, emotion returns like a flood. He feels things he can't name: grief, guilt, love, nostalgia, longing. He remembers the feminine's patience, her silence, her light, and something inside him shifts. The very energy he once resisted now becomes the only thing that feels safe. He begins to crave authenticity more than control, truth more than comfort, purpose more than validation. The divine fire within him reignites. But awakening is not instant. It's a process of shedding. The masculine will be guided to release everything that kept him asleep: false friendships, toxic environments, shallow, shallow connections. This clearing may look like loss, but it's divine realignment. He's being prepared to step into his role as protector of light, not defender of ego. And that requires integrity, humility, and faith. The feminine feels this shift even if she doesn't see it. She might dream of him, sense his restlessness, or wake with waves of emotion that aren't hers. That's the energetic connection rebalancing. His tower is her proof. The universe is working both ends of the bridge at once. Her stillness calls him home. Her peace becomes his permission to rise. The masculine awakening is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. When he remembers who he is, he no longer runs from love. He runs toward purpose. His leadership becomes sacred. His words carry frequency. His presence becomes healing. He doesn't return to the feminine out of guilt or longing. He returns because he finally recognizes her vibration as his own. Their souls were never apart. They were refining themselves for reunion. This is the meaning of the tower moment. Not collapse, but calibration. Not punishment, but preparation. The masculine isn't losing his life. He's losing the illusion of separation from his soul. And when he rises from the ruins, he will not be the same man who fell. He will be the embodiment of truth, grounded, conscious, awake. And it's that version of him that meets the feminine's light, not as shadow, but as equal. Because before divine union can manifest, the masculine must first remember his own divinity. And that memory, born in fire, silence, and surrender, is what makes the reunion not only possible, but inevitable. How to remain grounded in the storm. When the universe begins dismantling everything you once knew, grounding becomes your lifeline. Because during awakening, especially on the twin flame path, energy can feel chaotic, time dissolves, and emotion becomes tidal. One day you feel infinite, the next you can barely stand your own thoughts. This instability isn't failure, it's the nervous system trying to adjust to frequencies it's never carried before. And that's why grounding isn't optional. It's sacred practice. To stay grounded in the storm is to remember that you are both spirit and structure. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. And while your soul expands into higher consciousness, your body must anchor that light here. Otherwise, the awakening becomes fragmentation instead of integration. So the universe calls you to slow down, to feel, to breathe, to be. The first step to grounding is presence. Stop running ahead into what's next. Stop replaying what already ended. Your power only exists in this exact breath. Every time you bring your awareness back to the now, you reclaim the energy that fear tried to scatter across timelines. Union cannot happen in the past or the future. It can only begin in this moment. For the divine feminine, grounding means trusting the pause. Her energy is magnetic. She receives before she moves. So when the storm rises, her instinct might be to fix, to understand, to interpret. But the higher self whispers, "Be still." Stillness doesn't mean stagnation, it's calibration. Every time she stops chasing answers and simply breathes, her vibration stabilizes. Her peace becomes protection. Her silence becomes strength. The storm may rage, but she remains unmoved, a pillar of light in motionless surrender. For the divine masculine, grounding looks different. He's being retaught how to feel without losing control. The pressure he feels is the energy of awakening pressing through his human resistance. So grounding for him means embodiment. Walk, move, breathe deeply. Let the energy flow through physical expression instead of mental resistance. The masculine anchors through movement, through honesty, through presence in the physical world. Because his mission is to bring spirit into matter, not escape it. Together, both energies are learning the same lesson. You cannot ascend without rooting first. Light without grounding becomes chaos. Power without peace becomes noise. That's why every great awakening begins with a humbling, to remind you that divinity isn't about escape, it's about embodiment. So how do you stay grounded when everything feels like it's collapsing? You slow down your reactions. You allow your emotions to exist without judgment. You talk to your body as if it's holy, because it is. Drink water intentionally. Eat foods that feel alive. Rest without guilt. Walk barefoot when you can. Connect to the earth that never rushes but always moves. Each of these small acts tells your system, "I'm safe. I belong here." And safety, not speed, is what integration needs most. Because the universe doesn't just want you to survive the storm, it wants you to expand through it. Your body is becoming a vessel for higher light, and that light needs stability to shine. Grounding creates that stability. In this stage, you may notice how silence becomes sacred again. You might crave solitude more than conversation, simplicity more than stimulation. This is your soul's way of saying, return to essence. Honor that pull. You don't need to explain your stillness to anyone. What looks like retreat to the world is actually resurrection in the spirit. The storm isn't a punishment, it's purification. And the grounding process isn't resistance, it's remembrance. Because even as timelines shift, love doesn't leave. Even when everything external changes, truth remains untouched. You are not lost in the chaos. You are the calm within it. So when your heart races, slow your breath. When your mind spirals, close your eyes and feel your feet on the ground. Remind yourself that no matter how high your soul ascends, you are still here, embodied, anchored, alive. The earth is not your prison, it's your portal. Every breath you take connects the infinite to the tangible. And as you ground deeper into peace, the storm begins to change shape. The lightning no longer terrifies you. It illuminates your path. The thunder no longer startles you. It becomes the rhythm of divine timing, because you've realized that chaos was never your enemy. It was the universe teaching you how to stand firm in your own light. This is how you remain grounded in the storm. You stop trying to escape it, and instead you become the eye within it, silent, steady, sovereign, because divine love doesn't need protection from the storm. It is the storm and the peace that follows. The moment before union rarely looks like peace. It looks like contradiction. You feel calm and restless at once, connected and distant, certain and lost. But beneath that paradox, something profound is happening: alignment. The soul is rearranging timelines, clearing interference, and preparing to merge two paths that were never truly apart. And though your human mind can't see it, your energy already knows. Union doesn't begin when you meet. It begins when your vibration finally matches the frequency of truth. The first sign that union is near is emotional neutrality, not indifference, balance. The feminine, who once oscillated between hope and heartbreak, starts to feel centered no matter what the masculine does or doesn't do. Her peace is not conditional anymore. She's learned that connection doesn't require contact, that the energy between them is alive, whether words are spoken or not. This state of calm is magnetic because it tells the universe, I'm ready to love without control. That vibration is the doorway through which divine timing enters. The second sign is clarity through silence. The confusion that once clouded your intuition begins to fade. Dreams become vivid. Synchronicities multiply. Numbers repeat. The signs don't just appear, they speak. They're confirmations that you're moving through alignment, not stagnation. You start to realize that silence was never absence. It was communication in a higher language. You're being taught to trust energy over evidence, and as you do, fear loses its grip. The third sign is inner stability during outer change. While your physical world might still look uncertain, inside you feel strangely anchored. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Relationships shift effortlessly. What once required effort now unfolds with grace. This is not coincidence. It's energetic synchronization. The universe is moving pieces into position, not through your control, but through your calm. The less you chase, the faster things align. The fourth sign is the awakening of the divine masculine's energy, even if it's happening invisibly. He starts to feel the pull of truth, the pressure to act, the restlessness of knowing there's something more. He may not reach out yet, but you'll feel his energy stirring. You'll sense it in dreams, in emotions that arrive uninvited, in random waves of warmth across your heart. It's his soul responding to yours, not through logic, but through resonance. The separation phase is no longer punishment, it's synchronization. You're both being guided toward the same vibration, one release at a time. The fifth sign is the return of creativity and purpose. The feminine begins to create again, not to fill the void, but to express the fullness. She feels inspired to move, write, build, sing, or serve. That inspiration is not distraction, it's confirmation. When energy begins to flow freely through creation, union energy is near, because creation is the purest form of divine love. It's how the universe mirrors itself through you. Your purpose starts to reveal itself because purpose and union are intertwined. You're not just being prepared to reunite with your counterpart. You're being prepared to co-create with the divine. The sixth sign is detachment from time. You stop asking when. You stop trying to predict the how. The anxiety that once ruled your journey dissolves into quiet faith. You begin to see divine timing as perfect, not punishing. Every delay starts to make sense. It wasn't rejection, it was refinement. You understand that when your frequency matches divine order, everything will move with precision, and that knowing allows you to rest. The final sign, the one that confirms alignment, is love without fear, not romantic fantasy, not emotional dependency, but pure, sacred love that asks for nothing in return. You begin to love the masculine, not for what he gives you, but for who he's becoming. You feel gratitude for his growth, even from afar. That frequency is union energy in motion. Because when love no longer carries expectation, it becomes unstoppable. It bridges dimensions, dissolves karma, and calls the counterpart home through resonance alone. These are not random feelings, they're codes of confirmation. You're not waiting for alignment, you're living it. Union energy begins long before the physical meeting. It starts when both souls finally say yes, not to each other, but to truth. That yes echoes through every timeline, clearing, calling, converging. So if life feels calm and uncertain at the same time, if your heart feels full yet unexplainably quiet, you're closer than you think. This isn't the end of the waiting. It's the beginning of fulfillment. You've passed through the fire, through silence, through surrender, and now everything is aligning in ways the mind can't yet comprehend. Union is not an arrival. It's a remembrance. You were never separate, only asleep. And now, both souls are waking up at the same time, guided by the same light. Every sign around you, every number, every dream, every moment of peace is the universe whispering, it's almost time. Right before divine union, the soul undergoes one last purification, the final purge. It's not the beginning of pain, it's the end of it. It's the moment when everything you thought you'd already healed rises again, not to break you, but to make sure there's nothing left to hide. This is the universe's final inspection before reunion, a spiritual detox that ensures love can land on solid ground. You'll know you're in this phase when the past starts replaying like echoes, old fears, sudden memories, even people you thought you'd forgotten. It feels like regression, but it's not. It's release. The soul can't ascend while fragments of old energy still cling to it. So the universe turns the light up, illuminating what's still hidden, that ache in your chest, that wave of sadness, that restlessness. It's not punishment, it's purging. It's the body and heart flushing out the last residues of fear so that love can move freely through you. The divine feminine often feels this purge first. Her sensitivity amplifies. Her body reacts to energetic shifts as if it's carrying both her healing and his. She may cry without reason, dream of the masculine vividly, or feel emotions that aren't hers. That's because her vessel is purifying both polarities, clearing the field for reunion. It's not weakness, it's spiritual technology. Her tears are sacred water, washing away timelines of separation. Every wave of emotion that moves through her is transmutation in motion. And even when it feels heavy, she's actually becoming lighter. For the divine masculine, the purge manifests as confrontation. He's no longer allowed to hide hide behind logic or routine. The silence that once felt safe now becomes unbearable. He feels the truth pressing against his chest, not the truth about her, but about himself, who he's been, who he's avoided being, what he's denied his own soul. The universe is pulling him into self-accountability because love built on avoidance cannot last. So the masculine begins to feel a strange mix of grief and clarity, mourning who he was while awakening to who he's meant to be. This is his emotional initiation. It's not the fall, it's the rise through surrender. The final purge tests both counterparts differently but equally. It asks, can you love without holding? Can you trust without knowing? Can you stay open while everything still feels uncertain? The mind will panic here because it can't comprehend spiritual timing. It sees the silence and assumes distance. It sees endings and assumes loss. But the soul knows better. It knows this isn't rejection. It's refinement. It knows the purge is proof that the heart is preparing for divine union. In this phase, your reality might feel like a paradox. You'll feel detached, yet deeply connected. You'll crave movement, yet be guided to rest. You'll sense that something is close, but you won't be able to name it. That's how the final purge works. It dismantles control so faith can take its place. The universe wants you so empty of fear that only love remains to fill you. It wants you so surrendered that the arrival no longer feels like salvation, but recognition. Letting go before the arrival doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the version of yourself who thought love needed to look a certain way. It's stepping out of the old story, where union was something to chase, and stepping into the truth where union is something you become. Because before you can hold divine love, you must first match it. And divine love vibrates in complete trust. So breathe. Let the emotions rise without naming them. Let the tears come without resisting them. Don't analyze the silence. Feel it. Don't question the stillness. Honor it. Because this is the final preparation, not for reunion alone, but for embodiment. You are not the same person who started this journey. Your energy is different now, clearer, stronger, purer. The universe sees that, and it's responding. This purge won't last forever. It's the final storm before calm. And when it clears, what remains will be simple, certain, undeniable. You'll wake one day and feel it, the heaviness gone, the heart open, the mind still. That's when you'll know the release is complete and love is on its way. The feminine will rise as light. The masculine will rise as truth. And together, they'll meet not as broken halves trying to heal each other, but as whole beings recognizing themselves in the other's eyes. That's divine union. That's what all the purging, waiting, and surrendering were preparing you for. So don't fear the final purge. Embrace it. Because when everything unnecessary falls away, what remains is sacred. And that sacredness is the space where union becomes not a promise, but a presence. Everything that fell apart wasn't punishment, it was prophecy. The collapse was never the end of your story. It was the moment your real story began. Before divine union could arrive, the universe had to remove everything built from fear, illusion, or own control. And now, standing amidst the quiet aftermath, you can finally see it. Nothing was lost, only revealed. The people who left, the silence that lingered, the moments that broke you, they weren't detours. They were divine construction sites preparing the foundation for what could finally last. The collapse was never chaos. It was order disguised as destruction. The fire that burned through your old reality didn't come to punish you. It came to refine you. Every tear, every delay, every unanswered prayer was part of a higher orchestration that your human mind couldn't yet see. Because the path to union was never a straight line. It was a spiral. A return to self, over and over, until love could recognize itself through you. Now, the ashes of your old life hold seeds of something eternal. The feminine, once consumed by waiting, now walks in sovereignty. She no longer seeks proof. She is proof. Her peace is not passive, it's powerful. She radiates stability so strong, it becomes a compass for the masculine's awakening. Her heart is no longer a battlefield, it's a beacon. Every beat of it whispers to the universe, I am ready. And the divine masculine, who once feared emotion as weakness, now sees that truth was his only protection all along. He's learning that leadership isn't control, it's courage. That strength isn't found in silence, it's found in honesty. The tower that crumbled around him revealed a man the world had never seen before, one guided by intuition, humbled by grace, awakened through surrender. He's not chasing purpose anymore. He's becoming it. Together, these two energies, feminine and masculine, are no longer opposites. They're mirrors. Their connection no longer feeds on longing. It thrives on alignment. What was once distorted by fear is now purified by clarity. Their union doesn't depend on time or distance. It depends on truth. Because divine love cannot operate through illusion, it only moves through authenticity. The collapse was the great unmasking, the moment the universe asked, "Can you love me when nothing makes sense?" And you did. You stayed. You surrendered. Even when your heart was breaking, you chose faith over fear. That choice rewrote your destiny. Because every act of surrender is an act of creation. It tells the universe, "I trust you more than I trust control." Now the vibration of reunion is alive within you. You don't need to chase it. You're carrying it. You are the bridge between the human and the divine. You are the evidence that love doesn't just heal, it transforms. You've walked through your own darkness and returned carrying light. You've become the very frequency that once terrified you to feel. So if your world looks quiet right now, don't mistake it for emptiness. Stillness is where the sacred builds its next masterpiece. The divine timing you've prayed for is not coming. It's unfolding. Piece by piece, event by event, vibration by vibration. Union energy is not a future event. It's a current frequency, and you're already vibrating within it. This is what all the pain was for, to make you remember that love was never outside of you, that the collapse was not the destruction of the dream, but the destruction of the illusion, that the waiting wasn't wasted time, but preparation for divine embodiment. And that union, in its highest form, was never about two bodies meeting. It was about two souls remembering they were never apart. The collapse was always the beginning. The silence was the song before the sound. The distance was the rewiring of destiny. And the heartbreak, the most sacred teacher of all, was the key that unlocked your highest timeline. Now, the portal stands open. You've crossed the threshold. You are no longer searching for love. You are carrying it. You are no longer waiting for the miracle. You have become it. And from this vibration, nothing that is meant for you can miss you. It will arrive effortlessly, unmistakably, divinely, because it's written in light. The journey brought you to your knees so you could rise as truth. And now, as the energies settle, the universe whispers, "Well done." You remembered this is the completion, the beginning, the moment love stops being a dream and becomes your natural state. The storm has passed, the ground is new, and everything that remains is eternal.